Okay.
Social media can be a really toxic place sometimes. The anonymous nature of the internet can oftentimes bring out the worst in people, and pair that with feelings of isolation. This can make a terrible terrible concoction for your mental health.
Well, let's talk about it. Mental health and social media. Let's go.
But first, welcome back, everyone. I'm
Welcome
Barrett,
back. And I'm Holly.
and together
We are Octomouse Labs, and we want to arm you with the knowledge to live your best life.
Today, we're going to be talking about mental health and social media. It's gonna be a good talk, I feel. But first things first, let's get some announcements out of the way.
Yes, little housekeeping.
These are recorded live every Tuesday and Thursday. We're actually going to be trying a new thing on Thursdays, guys. We're going to be trying mini-sodes, because I know a lot of you guys are inside right now, don't want to take the time to listen to a full-blown podcast, right?
Yes.
So we're going to be trying short and sweet little episodes on Thursdays and see how you guys like them.
Yeah.
If you guys have any feedback of the show whatsoever, you can tweet at us at Octomouse. Would love to hear from you. But on Tuesdays and Thursdays, these are recorded live at twitch.tv/Octomouse Labs. And minisodes are going up on the YouTube, so if you prefer to see our faces as we talk, you can find them at youtube.com/Octomouse Labs.
This is true. And if you have a Facebook, we have a group for that.
We do.
We have a Facebook group.
I've been posting them to the Facebook.
Yes, I saw that. And you've actually posted some of them to my personal Facebook as well.
I don't understand how Facebook works, unfortunately.
Yes, we're working on it. We're learning.
On that one. I am working
Come
on that
learn
one.
with us.
The Discord Community Challenge is still live, guys. It is awesome. It is active. We have people talking about goals and wanting to empower and better their lives in there. If you're not part of our Discord community, there's a link in the show notes, and we'd love for you to say hi. Be like, yo, came from the podcast. Love to get some feedback from you guys.
Yeah.
I think that's about everything, right?
Yeah, I think so.
As of today, there's a giveaway going on.
Yes, we do have a giveaway for a Blue Yeti mic.
If you want the link, you can go to our Twitch chat and type !giveaway. It'll be on and active 24/7 up until the end of April.
Yes, so you have about half of April left.
You have about half of April left to get your entries in. There's some bonus stuff in there. If you check out the podcast, there's some bonus stuff in there if you're sub to us and all sorts of good stuff.
And what an awesome time to have a new mic with everything going on. If you're
maybe start your own podcast or upgrade your Twitch setup. That's the words I was looking for. Okay.
Yeah, start streaming, start your own podcast, record some stuff, or even just talk to people online since we can't really go out.
Up your audio quality a little bit.
Love it.
So, without further ado,
let's go.
Let's talk about social media, guys.
Okay, so how does social media play a part in everyday's lives?
Man, I think social media is one of those big things anymore. It's kind of in everything.
Do you think it's a necessity?
Honestly, to a certain degree, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, anymore. I mean, social media has really kind of changed the way we connect with each other, right? You know, distance doesn't matter anymore.
Exactly, yeah.
For the first time in human society, distance truly, honestly, does not matter.
No, the only thing different is normally the time zones.
Yeah.
So I think that we read into at least.
Yeah, I mean, you know, family can see photos and video chat instantly from hundreds and thousands of miles away.
Yeah.
Like,
people
it's incredible.
Can keep caught up with their high school friends from years
ago,
and years.
I mean, it's crazy, honestly.
Even people find people that there's like, I know a big thing that I've seen on social media is like when someone loses something and they can't find the owner of it, like if it's like a ring at Walmart or something like that, people post on social media and ask people to reshare it, and people can find the owner of certain things.
Yeah,
yeah,
absolutely.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's you know, it's mostly it's changed how we communicate, right? Because I mean, you have, you know, like I said earlier, things like the Facebook FaceTime, where you can talk from people miles and miles away instantly. You know, it's provided new ways of connecting.
Yeah.
You know, things that normally you can't find in your local area,
Oh yeah.
right? You can find online.
Oh, definitely. Yeah, and I know they're doing like on Facebook, there's the marketplace where people can buy things, and it's like online garage sales pretty much.
Yeah, yeah. So what do you think the most positive impacts of social media are?
Connecting people with other people, just straight up, I think it's really closing the distance between the people and allowing friendships that you would possibly never have in your life, and connections and stuff that you'd never been able to think possible. I think, and it also really allows it just families to keep in touch, and no matter how far away they are, just being able to like have that person in your life, even if it is over social media, that person is still in your life in some way, and it's an amazing thing, I think.
So one thing I want to bring up about positive impacts is having an anonymous source to explore things that you'd be afraid to explore otherwise.
Yeah, that is very interesting. I like
there
that.
are many, like, fandoms, I guess is the right word.
Okay.
Many things that people might be into that are a little weird, maybe not a little socially accepted.
A little taboo.
That's a good word for it.
Taboo.
That you would be afraid or off-put going into a shop for it in real life.
Oh yeah, definitely. And a place that you can find other people that may share that and be able to talk about it and get more comfortable with it as well.
Yeah, finding a community, right? The social media has really made it much easier to like link up with a group that you feel comfortable with.
Yeah.
You know, find friends with similar interests from all over the world. For the very first time, you can make friends, you know, across the entire world from you that have the same interests because you met in a Twitch stream one day, or you know, commented on the same YouTube video. Like,
definitely.
It's insane. It really is. And I mean, you know, news is a big one too.
Oh yeah, getting news, but that can also be a negative
I want to
thing
talk about
too
that
as
here
well.
in a second.
But there are news sites that if you find the right ones, that will give you the news and the facts and just allow you to keep up with the world and everything that's
Current
going
events,
on.
Right.
Exactly.
I know
there's a lot of current events that affect us.
I, for one, really basically only get my news from Twitter.
Okay, I didn't know that.
I use Twitter's like actual like news features that Twitter, you know, recommends the sources of, and I'll double check the sources. But like, I learn about ongoing events from Twitter mostly.
Okay, cool. Well, I learned most of mine from Facebook, so I'm just on the other side.
Yeah, I mean, and it's kind of the same thing, right?
Yeah, but just different platforms. He likes
Different
Twitter
platforms.
more. I like Facebook.
I do like Twitter a lot more. I think most streamers like Twitter more.
And that's the cool thing about social media. There's like platforms out there to fit everyone as well. So I feel like that's another positive thing.
Yeah, not to mention just about everyone has a Facebook or a Twitter anymore. So,
yeah.
One thing that I found while doing a little bit of research for this podcast episode, though, and it's something I didn't think about.
Okay.
But I thought was such a genius point to brush on.
Okay.
Is social media is kind of helping the younger generation rebond with the older generation.
Oh yeah, I definitely, for sure.
You know, not only being able to keep up and actually chat whenever, but the setup.
Oh yeah, just teaching them how to use.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
The setting up all these different accounts and like teaching and ongoing, and then the maintenance behind it.
Oh
like,
yeah.
That's really a bonding point that we've never had before. There's always been this like gap, a technology gap between the older generation and the newer generation. Yeah. And now there's, you know, an encouragement to close the gap there and bring the older generation up to pace.
Yeah, but I also think that it's a little change of the pace for the younger generation, because you normally just learn from a teacher, the older generation, and this is something that the younger generation can teach.
Yeah, and almost help instill a little bit of confidence in their own skills and the way they interact with people.
Yeah, definitely. I think it's really cool.
Yeah, I liked that. I saw that and I was like, you know, that's such a good point, honestly.
But then you get the older grandmas that get on like Facebook and stuff and repost all of that.
Yeah.
If it's political, that you have that person on your feed that is just like reposting all this political stuff that they find.
Yep. I'm too aware of that one.
Yep.
And, you know, the last thing is it gives everyone a voice.
Yeah, definitely.
I mean, used to, if you wanted to be popular or share an image, it was a lot harder. You had to find people in your area to find and support your message and help signal boost it by word of mouth.
Exactly.
And by things like the paper. And, like, it's not exactly possible for a lot of people, right?
Yeah.
But now you have, you know, talented people that really have a space to show their talents, to get their message out there.
Yes, and to also, like, again, sell things like art and stuff. It makes it a little bit easier for people that are just
absolutely,
that do art as a living.
Can I borrow your water real quick?
Of course you may.
Sorry.
No, it's all good. I definitely think it's cool, and then people to share their art, because I know before I do any art, I like to have places where I can like pin certain people's art as oh, 1 second. Okay.
Yeah.
To like pin people's art as references or inspiration, things like that. Being able, and I think just sharing culture around the world is another one.
You know, I like how you kind of said pin there.
Pin Pinterest, yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know how else to save it.
I know, it's one of those things that's become such an ingrained part of our lives that, you know, use things like Google and pin, and I'll just Facebook that later.
Yeah, I want to add,
they've become verbs.
Yeah, they have. I want to add another thing that I just touched on a little bit, is sharing culture. I think it's a huge one from all around the world. Being able, I think we're like starting to all going to like mesh, like since there's social media now and the internet, there's going to be a whole new culture coming around from all different types of culture.
Yeah.
Because think about how many like recipes have you seen online that people post that are completely different culture, or different art, different music, different so many things. It's so cool.
Here's one that I kind of think is interesting, though. It's a shifting of the times. Back before, if you wanted to experience the cultures of the world and you wanted to be this worldly person, right? This well-traveled individual, you had to travel. You had to go everywhere and do everything. And anymore, if you want to experience this, just go and learn about it. Google it.
Yeah, just Google it. Yeah, Google it.
Google it.
Talk to other people from there.
Open up your Facebook and make a friend from that, country.
Yeah, I know
it's crazy.
I know there's a really cool thing that I have on my Rosetta Stone right now, is where I can actually schedule a time to chat with somebody else in the language that I'm learning, and then there's some times where they're learning the same language as they're learning my language.
Oh, that is so freaking cool.
So you can like talk and as much as you can and trade and
that is
really
so
start
cool.
kind of
That is so
I think it's really
cool.
interesting. And then there are places, there are people that teach and all that kind of stuff. I think it's so cool.
Honestly, really
cool.
So
once I get a little bit more Japan under my Japan. Oh my gosh.
Get a little more Japan under my
Japanese. I apologize. I'm learning Japanese right now. I'm about a week into it. I'm still a baby beginner.
That's honestly so cool.
Yeah.
So with that, then, what are the negatives? One of the first things I want to...
many things.
Yeah, one of the first things I want to bring up is that anonymity again.
Yeah, okay, go. Do it.
Oh my god. If there's one thing the internet has graced us all with, it's anonymity and the downsides that come from being anonymous. People think that they can say and do
whatever
anything
they want to because
without any
they're
repercussions.
Behind a name.
Behind a screen, and no one knows who they are, right? I despise this degrading of personal responsibility for one's actions that have come from it. I think that's been one of the worst effects, is this degradation of personal responsibility.
Yeah.
As the younger generation thinks more and more it's okay to
It's
just
not
do and say
okay.
whatever,
Especially that's
because
a big
they're
thing.
online.
That's a big thing that we've been affected by on Twitch, is because you just have to just sign in on Twitch, put a username, and then you can talk in pretty much anybody's chat that is not like subscriber locked or follower locked, all
Yep.
that kind of stuff.
Yep.
So we don't have any of that. So just people come in and be like, "Oh, excuse
And
me, I'm
because
sorry."
of that, you know, it's interesting that because of that, bullying is higher than ever before. You know, like used to, it was a face-on-face thing. It was very few people, but now it's this almost pandemic itself. Not a pandemic, not the right word for it. What would be the right word for that? In any case, it's this big issue though, where online bullying has become this huge prevalent thing in just about every space and every community, affecting people of all ages. Where, like I said before, it was limited to in-person school time and a few troubled individuals. Now it's all the damn time.
Yeah.
And I feel like that kind of behavior bleeds in a little bit to real social ties as well.
Yeah. I think it's just, I don't know.
Yeah. And on the same
it makes
note,
me just angry.
On the same note, the anonymity isn't as severe as you'd think it is sometimes too. Anything you put out on the internet is public domain.
Yeah.
So, you know, anything that you say or do, other people can see.
Yes.
Including any place that you've been if you post about it. So,
yeah.
You know, privateness.
That can also be a negative one.
That is a negative.
Well, no, if there's a point in someone's life that they may have taken maybe some risque photos of sorts.
Yeah, that doesn't go away.
It doesn't go away.
And then
the thing is companies look at your social medias when you're getting hired for different things because they want to know what you're
a public face.
Yeah,
for things.
you're like, most people have social medias, and what people are like on their social medias are kind of what they're like in real life. And if your company finds some risque photos or photos of you just like partying like crazy or out and everything,
it might cost you a job.
It possibly could cost you an opportunity. Definitely.
Absolutely. And yeah, that's that's, don't put anything out there that you don't want other people to see.
Yeah, exactly.
One thing I see that I think is huge in our space, it's a big negative though, is isolation.
Yeah, definitely.
There's a feedback loop. Social media is addictive.
Yeah.
It absolutely is addictive. Most forms of social media are specifically designed to prey on the centers of your brain that reinforce positive rewards. And they'll basically program you to use them more. That's kind of the point, is to keep you engaged and on the app as much as possible.
Often, yeah. Every little thing that you see on the app, everything that you get on your news feed, everything is designed to keep you on that app as long as possible, because that's how they make their money.
And so what it can do is it can lead to the only connections that you end up forming are online.
Exactly.
It leads to the only friends you have, the only people you talk to are also behind a screen. And when you start thinking about your life, you start feeling really lonely because you don't know anyone. You don't have any friends that you actually hang out with. You have friends online, but it's not the same. That's a big thing that's been studied, is online connections don't replace in-person connections. There are hormones that release when you are close to other people, when you are happy in the presence of others, and those are big factors that lead to stress reduction and fighting depression, fighting anxiety, all those sort of things. So when you get the entire extent of your social interaction from a screen, you're missing out on a very physical part of it, something that you actually need that you cannot replace online.
Yeah.
And that leads to much, much, much higher forms of depression and anxiety disorders where, you know, it causes this loop itself, right? You feel good when you're on the app. You feel bad if you want to go outside and do anything because you don't have any friends, but you have friends online.
Or you even see the pictures that people post and see like they have this perfect life as well, and you're like, oh, I'm not living
that's
that.
That's another good
and
one.
Yeah, I have another one as well too. That's a scary one, but yeah, it really can make you feel like shit, to be honest. If you people, I don't know how to explain it.
Yeah. No, I mean, and that's something that you have to remember is no one's life is perfect.
No. And most of those pictures and stuff that they post.
Well, here's another thing, though, is like when you look at all the people with these amazing trips and all these things, you just have to realize how much debt are they racking up right there.
It might not just be debt. How hard did they work for that as well? How hard did they work? How much are they doing that stuff that you're not wanting to do either? They probably didn't want to do.
Sure. I mean, there's some of that. But, you know, a lot of that is, you know, how do you finance these huge trips like that? You know, a lot of these people are getting themselves into debt that they have to pay off for the rest of their life versus putting in the work for that whole period and then getting that as their reward.
Yeah.
They see this, you know, they see this engagement on social media as the reward for the debt. It's not. It's absolutely not.
Yeah.
You know?
So I'm going to go to a scary one. The negative impacts of social media for possible like sexual predators, and for predators being able, like if you post a picture and you're maybe wearing, like if you're in high school, maybe wearing like a shirt that has your high school name on it or something, you got to be careful what you're wearing, what's in the background of your pictures, because people can find you. It is scary.
Yeah.
If you're maybe not in school, maybe if you post like, oh, I'm at the coffee shop this day, that person can sit there and you don't even know, sit there and be waiting for you to go to said coffee shop.
That, like,
it is scary.
Anything that you put out there is mined for certain data points, right? And even if you don't include that little tag on Facebook or that little tag on Twitter saying where you are, the social media site itself still has that data.
Yeah.
And anyone who wants to mine that, anyone who has the know-how to mine that, absolutely can.
Yeah.
Absolutely can. So again, nothing you put out there is secure at all.
Yeah.
And that's, you know, that's something that people kind of take for granted, but it's, you know, it's a scary reality, right?
Definitely.
Something you gotta watch is kind of limiting what you post and where you post and what, you know, identifying things you give out there.
Yeah, because people, like, I mean, if you guys have probably heard stories, and if you're not, like, I mean, adults can, anybody can portray themselves to be anything that they want to be. They
absolutely.
Like, oh yeah, I'll be your 15-year-old, this like 60-year-old man can say,
I mean,
I'm 15,
that's why things like
15.
catfishing are such a reality right now.
Yeah.
You know?
So you got to be careful
problems.
and watch out. It's one of the negatives for sure, and it's scary.
Absolutely. Another thing that comes from that positive reinforcement, that addiction of the social media, is social media statistically, the addictions that it causes at least, are proven to lower your attention span.
Oh wow.
Because if you think about it,
yeah, because you keep on getting that reinforcement all the time.
One after another, it's positive reinforcement, great post after great post after great post, and if you don't like it, you scroll past it and you get another dose.
Get a new one, and then when you're not on social media, you're like, oh, where's my positive reinforcement? I'm bored.
Exactly.
Wait, where's the next thing? Where's the next thing?
Exactly.
Yeah,
and
I feel like that's a thing that I can feel like I possibly have. That's why I feel like maybe that's one of the reasons I haven't been able to stick to things as well, because it's not that complete positive reinforcement after positive reinforcement.
Yeah, it's one of those things, like, if you can identify the root cause being a social media addiction, and it really is an addiction, then it's something that you need to do your diligence to break.
Yeah.
Limiting time on these kind of sites, and I mean, you know, we make a living off these kind of sites, but
Yeah.
limiting your time on these sites is crucial to living a happy life.
You know, we care about you when we say this.
Like,
First
hey,
off, this is our
disconnect.
job, but there are times where you do need to disconnect.
You absolutely do.
We
You
love
need to
you guys, but
find-
your mental health comes first.
Yeah, you need to find time away from the screen, and you need to not let that constant craving for this positive reinforcement be your motivating factor, be the only motivating factor in your life. Because you'll end up getting bored with just about anything you try, and your ability to stick with things is going to be next to nothing, right?
Yeah, social media can also be very time consuming. You can
It's a
get stuck.
huge waste of time. Huge time sink.
You click on one thing and then you click on another
The
thing.
YouTube
click on another
sinkhole,
thing.
it even has a name. Like,
YouTube sinkhole,
how many
yeah.
people have gone down that little YouTube rabbit hole? You go for one video, you're like, okay, I need to learn how to hang a picture properly.
Yeah,
And,
then
you
you
know,
like see
next-
this video on how to
Like photo taking, and then it's photoshopping, and then next thing you know, you're like a certified Lightroom expert,
Yeah.
and you've wasted 6 hours on YouTube.
Yeah, so I feel like the time consuming, it can weaken relationships with other people that you're not spending time with them. It
Yeah,
can also destroy
absolutely.
it could also lead to procrastinating into like your work and everything.
Yeah.
It
That's
can
a big one. Oh my god.
detract from things that you need to do, like chores and
Oh my god.
things like that. It can even lead to paying for things that you shouldn't be paying for on social media. It's like, oh, it's just only $5, but you might, I don't know, that $5 might need to go to a bill, or it could be used for other things.
Yeah. I mean, it's there's a lot of little sinkholes for that one, honestly.
Definitely.
And then, you know, back to that whole isolation thing, but getting caught in these little loops of constant positive reinforcement, right? Understanding that you have these friends online and you have this safe little bubble where you feel depressed if you think about your real life.
Yeah,
It
it's not
encourages you
healthy.
to disconnect from reality. It encourages you to disconnect and stay at home, stay isolated, stay away, don't move, don't be active, don't make friends.
Yeah.
Just stay inside and stay on your little computer.
Which I feel personally everybody needs some outside time. If they can, just go outside, get off of everything.
Yeah,
Disconnect
absolutely.
time, just where you disconnect from everything.
You do. You absolutely do. You need time to connect to the people that are actually in your life,
Because
too.
if you really think about it, when was the last time that you disconnected for even 2 hours?
Earlier today.
Yep, I know you did.
Yeah,
But
I'm diligent about that, though.
Yeah, I
I'm
know
diligent
you're
about that.
diligent about that, and us being constantly on screens and all that kind of things is also bad for your eyesight as well. Constantly,
Yeah, I mean, that's why you have things like, you know, a majority of glasses getting made with blue light filters anymore,
Because
people are
everyone-
destroying their eyesight even
Yes.
by staring at screens all the time.
and even with blue light filter,
Like, I
I'm pretty
mean-
sure my eyes are going downhill.
yeah, we have to do this because otherwise our eyesight's getting worse. And I mean, even with these glasses, my eyesight's still getting worse.
Yeah.
So how do you gain the benefits then? and
Without
limit
the
negatives?
negatives.
Not without. You can't ever get without.
Yeah,
But
it's
you can
social
limit.
media things.
You
crazy.
can limit your negatives.
Uh,
I think the first thing foremost, you have
You
to
do it, yeah.
understand, you have to understand that it does not, cannot, will not replace human contact.
human to human contact.
You need those hormones that you get from being in the presence of other real people.
Yes.
You need to find a way to get that, even if it's just hanging out with your family, but you need to find some sort of time where you are not behind a computer. You
Yeah.
need to find some sort
Computer,
of meaningful
phone,
interaction.
tablet, whatever you want to say. You can't weasel your way out of it.
Exactly.
I feel like be careful what you post on social medias, because think
Absolutely.
about it. Anyone you might not even know that you want to right now in your life be able to, I don't know, just like become like a higher position in a company or anything like that.
Yeah.
And you might just be like, oh, I don't care about anything. I have a good job right now. I'm partying. But later in life, when you're looking for those things, you might totally ruin your chances. Really be careful what you post. Make sure what your children post, because I know we haven't talked about that.
Oh my God.
Make sure what your children post.
God.
We haven't even talked about
so
that.
many horror stories of God.
I saw a thing the other day that made me laugh so much that I think it was like their 4-year-old got a hold of their phone, ended up taking a picture of them mostly nude, and accidentally posting it on Facebook. A 4-year-old. They didn't understand, of course, but that picture apparently got deleted really fast.
But even still, someone saw that.
Might, yeah. Someone probably saw that. But
yeah.
So be careful with, and especially just the self-esteem of small children too. I mean, that can just, or all the stuff that they see.
On the other side of things, is I think you kind of have to watch when you allow kids that level of anonymity on the internet.
Oh yeah, definitely watch.
That's
what
something I could speak to a lot. Parents listening to this, if
I love how we're going back to the negative sides right now.
Well, I think that's a lot of it though. Is you know, parents listening to this, if your children get on YouTube, if your children get on Twitch or Facebook or any of that, if they have access to stream video and comment to it, check what they're saying.
To people, train your child to be a decent human being and not just come in and totally just off the bat just
be an asshole.
Be an asshole to people, because that's not cool. If they want attention, if they want to talk, why don't you just try to talk to the people?
It starts training this mentality of, okay, well, if I want attention, I can just get it negatively off the bat.
Yeah, exactly.
I could say something and then just get all eyes on me. And what you get are, you know, then college kids way down the line getting arrested for doing dumb shit out in public because that's how they grew up.
Or that's how they saw on, like, all of those, like, Jake Paul and all of those people that are doing this stupid shit on the internet. You see kids doing it, getting in trouble for it, and possibly even dying. I've heard things that from they saw it on the internet. Oh, they're gonna do it because they saw it on the internet.
Yeah,
like it's not, and then it's not just Logan Paul. It's a whole bunch of other people. That's just the first thing that came to my mind, of course.
Yeah,
but just train your children to understand the. I feel like being very honest with them on the
ramifications of their actions.
Ramifications of their actions and the dangers of social media, and really limiting and watching them, because children are children and sometimes they do whatever children want to do, and it's not all the time the right thing.
Yeah. But I mean, a big one to me though is just, again, watch what children are saying, right? Because, you know, it probably has a little more reach than you think it does.
Yeah, definitely. And it really shows you as a parent on how well you parent your child as well.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
Because I will say,
I mean, that's a direct reflection.
There is a lot of the time, I don't like to judge people, but I do judge parents a little bit on how their children act. A little bit of the time. I know
that's one thing that we've done once or twice is, you know, having a really shitty kid in our chat. We've searched them up on Facebook and contacted their parents more than once. That's
on Facebook, yes.
Yeah,
like, people are like on Facebook.
No, but I mean, like, we found handles from similar searches and then found them, and because again, anything you post is public. It is easy to find people. If you have a little bit of diligence, it is easy to find you.
And I understand that kids can be dicks sometimes, and that's not always the parents' fault.
But that is no excuse for allowing your child to be a dick.
Yeah, exactly.
And not doing something about it.
Yeah, but I feel like it still is a positive thing. There's a thing that I saw, you know how Facebook has the messenger thing? There's a Facebook Messenger for kids, actually. So they can video chat and text other family members. The parent is controlling it, of course, but they can video chat and text other family members or other friends, and then they can use that, and parents can actually check their history, and they can't delete anything and all that kind of stuff.
Cool.
It's basically text messaging and video chatting, but safe.
Yeah, I like that, honestly. God, one of the the big things, kind of going back to limiting your negatives, and one of the big things I think of is fact check what you read.
Oh yeah, definitely.
How many things have spread like wildfire through Facebook that have been complete and utter bullshit?
Oh yeah, lots of stuff like that. And then that person spreads it to another person that's not even on social media. And
fact check what you read, especially before you signal boost
and
it.
then we hear Godzilla is like in Tokyo again.
Yeah, I know.
It's like, wait, what? Did
all
you fact
need
check
to know, all you need to know, like all you need to do is just spend a second and search that up from a credible source. Because that can definitely kind of ease that panic. It's a knee-jerk reaction a lot of people have, is just outright panic.
Mm-hmm.
So before you panic and signal boost that,
yeah,
take a second and make sure what you are about to spread to the world is legitimate.
Yeah, and realize that news is not always the right thing. News tries to get like a reaction, tries to make you coming back as well. The news site. So find a place where you can get good news,
credible information.
Good credible information. Yeah. Yep. Develop time management habits with social media and don't spend hours scrolling. Make a timer on the phone for yourself, or even use one of the kids apps where you can limit your own time.
Yes. I love that.
Parent yourself a little bit here and limit your time on social media. Be like, okay, I only get this amount of social media a day.
You just need to be mindful of how much you're actually endlessly scrolling.
Yeah.
You know? And it can be one of those things, people that use social media for a job, it's hard to find the balance between this is productive and this is a waste of my time.
There's a
blurry line on
well,
it.
I feel like it's a blurry line because you can convince yourself that, oh, this is gonna help.
Yeah,
with
but
work.
It won't, right?
Yeah.
You
I've
need to
been
be
there,
able
done
to
that.
self-parent, manage your time appropriately. Because if you don't, no one else is going to come back through and manage your time for you.
Yeah, you're your own person. You don't have a parent to over your shoulder to tell you what to do and what not to do. You're the one in charge of your life.
Yep. Yeah, I'm honestly, and the last thing I would really say is just find something you enjoy.
Yeah.
Find something you enjoy that doesn't involve a screen.
Yeah, find hobbies that include going outside. And maybe it's like you go out with this group of people and play some sports or something with them. This awesome group of people, but you can also connect with them on social media as well outside. But find a thing where you're still able to
like if
get your body moving.
If the sport is your thing, that's fine. Connect with other groups on social media that are all about that sport and all about these other things. If that is what you're passionate about, connect with it. Find other people that you're into that are also into it, but also do the thing, right? Get outside and actually do the thing. If it's a sport, then get outside and do the sport. Whatever it is, though, get outside, get away from your screen. Find time to get away from your damn screen. Find other things that provide positive reinforcement in your life that aren't social media. Don't let yourself be addicted to this, otherwise you'll be a slave to the same algorithms that everyone else is.
Yeah.
And it absolutely can ruin a lot of things in your life.
Yeah. So just be an adult.
Be
you
mindful.
got this. It's gonna be hard. I feel like if you are gonna try to limit yourself and you have been doing nothing but being on social medias, there might be you might get headaches, you might get anxious.
You might get physical withdrawal symptoms from it.
Yeah, just be
that's
be
all
safe.
the more proof that you need to actually do this.
Take some time away from it. Yeah.
If that hits home to you, you know what you need to do now.
Yeah.
Get outside and go play some fucking tennis or something.
Or don't even go read a book. Go read a book as long as you're not on your screen. Just disconnect from social media somehow.
Connect with people, though, right?
Connect with people, yeah, that too.
Find people in your life If you do something outdoors, find other people that do it outdoors. Use your social medias to find people to meet up with and do it outdoors. Just not right now.
Yeah.
Not right now. Stay your
right
6
now
feet.
It might
Stay
be
your
harder.
6 feet.
Stay your 6 feet
Stay
away
your
from
6 feet.
everybody.
But
If you can, go for a walk. If you can't, go out in your backyard, front yard. Spend time with your family. If you must need to, Google research on some fun crafts or fun things to do.
Yeah.
Maybe teach yourself some things, but actually spend some time away.
Yeah, just disconnect every now and again. It's good for you. You'll do better.
Yeah. So there we go.
I think that about covers everything.
I liked that one a lot.
Yeah, soapbox time is over.
Yes. Do we have any questions?
I don't think we have any questions.
Okay, awesome.
But
Well,
I want to end it saying that if this resonated with you in any way, you like what we do here,
yeah.
take a second and leave a review. It helps more and more people find this show. If you're part of our chat, if you're part of our community and you actually care and support what we do, you care and support this message,
Yes.
please leave a review. Go to one of these
Yes.
podcasting sites and just take 5 minutes and review it. I know
Yeah.
I'm asking you to go somewhere else and do something else, and oh my god.
It's a lot of extra, but it really helps
but
us.
it helps
really helps
more than you know.
Helps us get the message out to more people that may really need to hear it. Also, give a review that you feel like we deserve as well.
Yeah, I'm not going to ask for your 5 stars.
We're not going to ask for the biggest best because that's
Yeah.
if it's not that to you, then you rate it fairly.
Yeah, but I do want some feedback, and I want more people to find this show. Word of mouth helps.
Yeah.
Always.
We're always here if you ever need to talk on Discord. It'll be in the links in this podcast. We are here for you guys. Hopefully this helps.
Yeah.
With something maybe hit home. Maybe your grade on this doesn't apply to you, but maybe there are some things that if your child is getting into it that you may need to
absolutely
check out. Yeah.
Absolutely. Any case, we'll see you back on Thursday for another mini-sode.
Yes, I'm excited for these
Another
mini-sodes.
mini-sode.
They're like so cute and little sweet and really quick digestible content. And I
Yes.
love that.
We'll see you back on Thursday. Take care, everyone. Love your faces, and goodbye.